Well, hello there. I'm Sean McDonald, and I'm going to talk about the cameras that we have for checkout in Media Arts 101. Some of you may check out one of these Canon cameras. These Canon cameras are fairly simple to operate. There are setup videos online from your professor, but they're fairly easy to operate. But the one thing we want to talk about in here is basically the microphone attachments. So this is obviously the charger to charge the unit, and then we have the camera itself. And then inside one of our pockets, depending on where it's been placed when it came back the last time, we also have a microphone. Now, one of the things we want to talk about with the microphones are kind of important, so I want to make sure we kind of cover this fairly well. So with this microphone, you guys can see that this is an Audio-Technica lavalier mic. Lavalier mics are designed to be connected to your actual person, and you basically set them up so that when they put them on, it's facing up towards their face, and it's a fairly easy clip on. You run this through their outfit and back to the camera. It comes with about a 20-foot cord, but the most important thing about this is what it comes with right here. There is an on-off switch and there is a battery inside here. When you use this, you have to make sure you turn it off when you're done. If you do not turn it off, the little battery in here will die, and these batteries are about $3 and they're getting harder and harder to find. You used to be able to get them at any drugstore, camera store, Target, Walmart, any type of place like that. But a lot of places don't seem to carry this battery anymore, so it behooves you to make sure you turn this off so that it doesn't die while you're using it. So that's a very important feature about this microphone. So that's the Audio-Technica. Now once again, cord management. Nice, easy loops, tied back with the original tie wrap that's on here, leave a gap, and smaller loops over here. Do not roll this all up into one giant roll. Don't ever roll it around your arms. Basically follow the way you find it when you take it out. Once again, it fits into this nice little snug little pouch that you can quickly zip back up and put back in the bag. That's the Canon. The other cameras that some of you might take out are these Hamilton Buell cameras. Now these cameras regrettably do not have a microphone and a headphone input like these do. These actually allow you to plug in a headphone and the actual microphone into the camera. But these actually have only a microphone input on them. So the microphone input is located on the back here underneath a little door. And the thing's talking to me because I opened it up. And so, what we have in the kit for you to use with that is a set of headphones and the microphone itself. Now the microphone, regrettably, it did come with a little pouch, but the pouch isn't large enough to actually hold the unit. We're ordering new pouches, so these might be replaced maybe middle of the semester or next semester. But basically, when we open this up, you will notice that you have something similar to the previous unit. Once again, there is a battery inside of here that a lot of these are set up that they're not ready to go yet. There's an on-off switch here. You pull this out, and then the battery should be working. The battery that actually is in here is not a small little button battery. It's actually one of the smaller flat ones you might find in a car remote and things like that, so it might be a little easier to find, probably a little bit less expensive, and it's located in here, so it uses one of those batteries. And then you have two on-off positions, the first position being for a mobile device and the second position being for a camera, so you want to make sure you turn on the camera. And then this unit is also unique because once this plugs into the camera, you can then plug the headphones into this unit. So now you can actually monitor the audio. The one thing we have noticed about these units though is they tend to run what we call a little bit hot, which means the audio is rather loud. So what you want to make sure is when you go ahead and mic someone with this, you probably don't actually need to do it up here at about the breastbone. right here on the sternum. You basically probably could do it around belly button level, and that'll probably give you a little bit better sound. It won't be so hot. So just something to consider when you're using this unit. So it's a fairly easy to use camera for the most part. The downside is it just doesn't have the inputs that we need. A lot of new cameras tend to not have all the features nowadays. So if you are considering to buy a camera, even if you're going from one of the new mirrorless cameras that tend to be the new trend for both still and video shooting at the same time, the Canons, the Sonys and stuff like that, make sure that the camera that you're buying has both an audio input for a microphone, like an external microphone, but also has the ability to put a headset in there so that you can actually monitor your audio. Obviously, on production level, the next level up from a documentary style, you probably wouldn't be using this type of stuff. You would actually be using a separate recorder of some sort that would be connected to mics. And if you're on a movie set, there's a whole sound unit that's recording stuff. But while they're actually filming movies, and actually while they're filming television productions and a little bit step-up type productions, even if you have external microphones that are hooked up to things, a lot of the times the camera is also hooked up to get the sound at the same time, because that will help synchronize it later on. Because you can actually use a separate audio device while you're recording with this. When you bring in your original clip with the audio from the camera, you've got that audio clip, then you can bring in your audio clip from a recorder, drop that on a separate sound timeline down, or the sound timeline underneath the video timeline inside of an editor like Premiere, and then what you can do is just sync them up. That's one of the reasons why at the beginning of all films and movies they use a clapboard, and they go rolling, take, speed, and they click the clapboard because the clapboard records a sound that they can then synchronize recording units and the audio equipment at the same time. So, and the cameras. So hopefully this gives you enough information. Hopefully this is self-explanatory. Once again, I'm Sean McDonald, and these are the cameras that we have for Media Arts 101.